Hi, you guys. Okay, Insecure season 5, episode 4. Faulty. Okay. It's the day of Nathan's event, and remember, Issa's company, The Block, put this event together, and I thought it would be a little more uniform instead of looking like a day at the beach. At one point, even Molly said, "We look like a monolith." We get to meet Nathan's homeboys in this episode. And of course, Issa came through with Molly and Kelly. Molly is feeling renewed and she is ready to mingle. She wants him, and him. And I'm here for it. She says that date that she went on the last episode was cool and all, but when it comes to sex, she fucks weird now. And that's only because she's more enlightened with herself. And that energy comes through sexual as well. She said homie was cool and all, but she needs someone more sexually experienced. And just like Kelly, I support Molly and I'm here for it. For myself, I've been chilling on dating, just getting back to me. But this time when I date, I will be dating multiples. I'm too old for the bullshit. Issa tells the ladies, I'm going to try to talk to Nathan without crying in his mouth. I'm going to ask him what my tears taste like. Kelly says to Issa, didn't he just leave in the middle of the night? We find out that it's been a week since this happened and it's been very little communication between the both of them. Molly suggests to Issa that she take her time and just ease into it. On the Block Instagram page, they announced that they have a 3-event partnership with Nothing But Water. So Crenshawn Fine Ass, my husband, is in the comment section with the I wonder emoji. He posts that. Issa said, I knew he would have some shit to say. Molly tells Issa, let him have all the emoji fingers he wants. His clothing line sold out because of you. Issa said, you right. Me going to put this phone away because I'm not arguing with anyone who want the scared straight Friday school. Issa rolls up on Nathan and his boys, and it's awkward. Nathan said, oh, hey, thanks for coming. Issa said, great, and you? And she like, oh, shit, but you didn't ask. And, she got that awkward thing going on. And she said, she asks him, how are you doing? Nathan said, just trying to get my host on. Issa said, every party needs a GHB, great host boy. Issa, shut up. Issa trying to break the ice is making things even more awkward. Molly breaks the awkwardness and she asks, she says, I would love some alcohol. And remember, Nathan boys are ready to frolic. Molly and Kelly is ready to frolic. Arik, Nathan's homeboy, comes over and he tells them, come on, I got y'all. And now everyone is frolicking over drinks. Issa tries to spark a conversation with Nathan again, and he brushes her off. Issa goes over to Kelly and Molly, and she tells them, look, he's definitely mad at me. She's regretting the fact that she even showed up, and she's asking them, like, he's being weird, right? It's not just me. Kelly said, I don't know his baseline. He's always been that nigga that was weird. I just thought it was a draw. So Molly said, what, you want to leave? And Issa said, no, and make things more weird. Issa asks Kelly, you drinking now? Because Kelly was making a drink at the bar. And Kelly said, no, girl, this is for you. Loosen up. Yes, Issa, calm down. Well, I don't know why Issa give a fuck. Molly is over there sizing up Arik, and Kelly goes over to her and she asks, so is Arik swipe left or swipe right? Molly said, I don't know. Everyone is still in a running until they disqualify themselves. I like that. Arik had a space game going and he invited the ladies over to play. Issa said, is it like pity pat? I'll play if y'all teach me. And Kelly said, girl, no one is teaching you how to play at your big age. The cutoff time is 16. Listen, y'all, black people do not play when it comes to spades. If you don't know how to play, you ain't black, okay? I learned how to play about 18, and I'm not a pro at all. Anytime that I do play, I make the speech, look, I'm not a player like that. So don't get mad if I lose. Some people take spades serious, okay? Friendships can end over spades, and I don't have time for it. While everyone is playing spades, Issa's just sitting there being a spectator, and her eyes caught Nathan over there with Risha. No big deal. That's a co-worker, right? What got Issa was their chemistry. Nathan is sitting in the sand and Risha is towered over top of him and Nathaniel is fixing her shoe. So by Issa seeing this, Issa is now in her head. They fucking. Oh no, they not fucking. But they fucking. Issa almost catches eye contact with Risha. That shit be so crazy. And I'm like, Issa is really falling for Nathan again. Issa, in my opinion, is a flip flopper, okay? Issa having these feelings towards Nathaniel. Nathan is telling me that she wants Nathan back. Issa would not care who the fuck Nathan is touching, feeling, or anything if she didn't want him. I don't like it. I don't like it. Nathan homeboy was fussing about the game, and this causes Issa to get out of her head. And the homeboy is like, y'all lucky y'all ain't no niggas, because this size 14 will be up y'all ass. Molly says, size 14. Noted. Issa nerves is irked seeing the shit between Risha and Nathan. So she walks off to get a drink, and Risha comes right up behind her and she said, Issa, you look so good, I didn't notice you. Issa turns around and she's like, Risha, hey, how you doing, girl? I didn't recognize you outside of your smock, while she's looking at her titties. And I think this was just to say Risha looks really good outside of her uniform. By this time, Nathan had walked over to Issa and Risha. Since no one wanted to go in the water, Risha went ahead and went in the water by herself. Once they were alone, Issa asks Nathan, are we cool? Nathan says, nothing changed for me. Issa said, okay, well, we're still friends. It's just awkward right now. Nathan has been waiting for the food to arrive. His homeboy come in with boxes of pizza. He said he didn't say shit about burgers and hot dogs. Ain't no barbecue, bitch. He passes Nathan the pizza boxes. An earthquake causes Nathan to drop the pizza boxes, which I don't understand how the fuck he did it, but he dropped the pizza boxes. Nathan asks Issa, is she okay? And Issa said, yes, I'm okay. How about you? Risha cuts in and she says, I'm okay. We made it. Now we're bonded for life. Now we can see that Issa is over this bitch and she just walks away. They make the announcement that they're closing down the beach in case of a tsunami. Risha said, I can't be caught up in another tsunami. I basically died. And Kelly said, I did too. Because of the evacuation, Nathan tells everyone to meet him by a nearby bar, and drinks was on the barbershop. So Issa says to the ladies, do y'all want to go somewhere else? We don't have to roll with them. And Molly is like, girl, no, I'm narrowing it down. These niggas is running neck to neck to see me naked. In the ride over to the bar, Nathan is talking to his boy. So Ark says, he asks Nathan, you think your girl's girl is feeling me? Nathan said, I don't know. Isn't Johnny trying to get at her? So Ark is so infatuated with Molly. He is trying to get at her. Okay, he's talking about her sexy eyes and her sexy lips. He won himself some Molly. Ark is just going on, and he mentions to Nathan, he said, wouldn't it be something if I start dating your girl's girl? So Nathan is like, hold up, not my girl. Nathan says, she's all over the place. He gets to telling his boys everything. She called me over to cuddle. We've been friends for over a year because she wanted to. Then she shows up today, legs out, oiled up, talking about, are we still friends? And Nathan is just going on, and he tells them that when he was over there cuddling with her, she started to cry. Nathan tells them, I didn't want to do that shit all night, so I just left. His boys tell him it's a reason that she felt comfortable enough to cry in front of you. They tells Nathan, you do have that cry on my shoulder type of energy, and that he let Issa friend zone him. I felt like Nathan had every right to leave that night. You got me fucked up if you think you gonna call me over, ask me to stay, then expect me to cuddle you all night while you having a mental breakdown. Hell no. I'm not Iyanla, and this is not Fix My Life. However, Nathan wasn't completely honest and upfront as to why Issa may have friend zoned him. I mean, remember, it was a time where she was really liking him and he ghosted her. Nathan tells his boys she doesn't know what she wants. So Ark says, well, she's rolling to the next spot. She wants something. Now, the ladies, including Risha, shared the Uber ride to the bar, and their driver is an extreme conspiracy theorist. So to try to ignore him, Issa goes on to her Instagram page on the block page, and fine ass Crenshaw is all up under the comment section talking about Issa is a fraud and all skin folks isn't kin folks. Issa hits up Koya, who is so mad her nose is leaking. Koya like, so what you want to do? You need me to run up on him? Issa tells Koya, no, don't worry about it. We on salary now. We get money. As soon as Issa hangs up the phone, here goes the extreme conspiracy theorist. He said, I stay changing my number. Switch it up. Shock the system. Stay off the grid. I call it the 3 S's. And Issa was like, I wish the S was for silent. I hate when Uber drivers stay wanting to talk you to death. I was in a Uber one day and this Uber driver thought she was going to talk me to death. I pulled out my earplugs and I put them in my ear. And you can say I was rude my ass. It's rude to force someone into a conversation. Issa gets back on her phone and she starts texting Molly, who's in the back seat. But you know, this is what girlfriends do. This is what we do. Issa was telling Molly that the driver was weird, and Molly said, well, she couldn't really tell, being as though Kelly and Risha is having Super Soul Sunday conversation. Molly asks Issa what happened with Nathan. Issa said, I don't know. He's acting standoffish. Maybe it's because he's with Risha. So Molly is like, what? She's like, she texts Issa, hold on. Molly so kindly said, Risha, you fucking Nathan? Risha said, what? Girl, no. That's like my blood brother. I bet he can fuck though. What you want me to set y'all up? So love this part right here. That's right, Molly. Come through for your girl. Issa texts Molly, well, I guess he's just not fucking with me. Everyone gets down to the bar and Johnny done beat the rest of the guys down there. So he's already sitting at the table ready for Molly, and he already had a drink ready for Molly. So when Ark comes in, Ark is like, you want a drink? He asked Molly, you want a drink? And Johnny said, no, she good. So Ark said, you want that weak ass drink or you want something stronger? And Molly is loving this. Okay. Okay. Shots is going around. Nathan passes Issa a shot. Issa said, thank you. You was reading my mind. And Nathan said, I be trying. Nathan makes a music selection. And of course, it's Mike Jones. Nathan had to rep for his hometown, Texas. And listen, Mike Jones still go hard in Houston. And I'm not mad at it. Mike Jones put everyone in a good mood, and Issa and Nathan do a toast. So Issa just comes out with it, and she says, I'm sorry about the other night. I made it weird, but why did you leave? At first, Nathan tried to give Issa some bullshit, and then he just gives his honest answer. He said, well, what did you expect from me, Issa? And Issa was like, well, I expect you to be there. And he asks her like, well, when did we have expectations for one another? I didn't know that. And this is my thing with Issa. Issa is so flip-floppy. Not only is she hella awkward, but she do not know what she wants. Nathan is not a good catch for Issa. I don't care what nobody's saying. I don't like it. Nathan said, you know what? I apologize. I shouldn't have kissed you. And Issa said, no, it wasn't like that. I shouldn't have asked you to stay. Nathan says, well, that settles that. Nathan has more guests coming for him, and this time it's his cousin Thomas and his wife Thelma. And so they come through the door like, hey, what up, prison babe? So everybody like, yeah, you do look like prison babe. Nathan introduces them to everyone, and he apologizes to them for changing the last minute change up for the location. And Thomas said, well, it's cool. We're used to this. You never know where a night with Nathan may take you. And Thelma said, you might end up on the back of a milk carton. The energy between Thelma and Nathan is very awkward. And I'm like, what is going on with these two? Issa asked the couple how long were they in town. And Thomas said, oh, no, we live in Longview. And Issa like, oh, you have family that's here in LA. And because remember, Nathan said that he didn't have family. So I'm like, oh shit, what we about to find out about Nathan? Everyone is around the table, and Nathan and Thomas is reminiscing, catching up on old times, telling stories about one time Nathan had ghost Thomas, and Nathan like, oh my God, you gonna keep bringing this up? I done apologized like so many times. And he said that Nathan thought that he was gonna make it with this following this artist around, so he just left him there at the event. So Thelma said, yeah, that sounds like Nathan, he be gone with the wind, just like a little light-skinned little leaf. Everyone at the table was laughing, and his friend was like, you do be wearing leaf colors and shit. And the look on Nathan's face is like Thelma is trying to play him or something out of position. And Issa catches this, and she said, well, I'm glad the wind had blown him in my direction, because since Nathan been in my life, he inspired me to put down roots, and I grew a whole tree. And I just can't figure out, why is Issa trying to save this nigga? Like, what? Why? I understand that she is friends with Nathan, but one thing about Issa, when she is done with you, she is done with you. And I'm like, okay, Issa has sex with him, but Issa, do you want to go back into this situation with him? You wanna risk the fact that he'll be gone again, like the girl said, like gone with the wind, like a light-skinned little leaf? You want that again? Anyway, everyone is gonna roll over to the Jason Derulo concert, and Molly asks, not Ark, but the other guy, was he gonna come along to the concert? So he's like, I gotta go home and attend to my cat, so I ain't gonna be able to come, but you can come over my place if you want to. So Molly like, he worried about the wrong motherfucking cats, okay? I wish a nigga would ever tell me about him gotta go home and attend to his cat, okay? That's something that you don't say. So he definitely disqualified himself. Molly will be rolling with Art. Kelly is over there with Risha, and she's about to have a breakthrough. So they're going to stay at the bar and just have their breakthrough moment. She going to say, I had a dream that my mama was a hamster on a wheel and I didn't have no food, so I ate her. Does that mean that my past is inside me? I don't know. Hilarious. Everyone is in the Uber riding to the concert, and Nathan and his cousin, they are catching up. It seemed like they haven't caught up in a long time, and they needed this. Issa's soul is irked because Crenshaw ass keep on antagonizing her with these tweets and all of this keyboard gangster stuff. He tweeted out, it's a mistake to work with fake people. Issa inboxed him and said, you are doing the most, and this is a weird way of saying thank you for all the exposure that I got you. Why the fuck, soon as Crenshaw seen her fucking inbox, he gonna post it on his Twitter. Krishan, why you acting like you do? And I think his thing is, Issa claimed to be down for him on his team, that it should be all about him, and his wants. But, my G, you're not there yet. You have to have humble beginnings. Molly is in the backseat with Ark, and she asked Ark what was the Chinese symbol translation, and he's like, it means good dick. I mean, you are so corny, Ark. That would you would disqualify yourself just off that. Good dick. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, we get down to the door, and Ark can't get everyone in, but he tells everyone hang tight. Issa is still tight about Crenshaw and his Twitter fingers. Issa is texting Koya, and Koya tells, she texts Koya and said, what if MBW sees this? And Koya said, don't worry, the internet has a short attention span. Just let it die down. Now, Molly, she has made up her mind, and she's going to give Ark that nonny. Ark finally comes back, and he tells them that he can only get one other person in, and that will be Molly. However, Molly isn't the type that flakes on her friends for a nigga. Molly goes in, and she finds them a door that everyone can creep in. Mo flew his ass to that door, and Thomas started walking the other way, leaving. So Nathan runs down on him, and he says, Thomas, where you going? I wasn't going to abandon you. And Thomas like, no, I'm just too old for this. I don't have your type of energy anymore. And Nathan is just trying to convince him to stay, and he's like, I know that Thelma got you on a tight leash and all. I know she don't fuck with me. Thomas tells Nathan, like, that wasn't on Thelma. To be honest, it was on me. I'm the one that wanted you gone. First, you just popped out of nowhere with little warning, and you'll be gone for days. And then when you did come home in the middle of the night, you'll be leaving the doors unlocked. And he's like, look, I had kids to protect, and I'm sorry that I wasn't straightforward with you. I didn't know how to handle it, and Thelma thought that it would be easier if we just blamed her. Thomas Lift has arrived, and he told Nathan that they should continue talking about this, and that he would call him. Now, Nathan is kind of taken back listening to his past behaviors. It was like all he could do was listen, and Issa walks up on him to let him know that Molly was waiting for them at that door, and he is still disturbed by the convo that him and Thomas had, and he tells Issa that he needs a minute, and he walks away. Now Issa only gives him a minute, and she goes back up to him, and she's like, you good? And Nathan just comes out with, he said, when I was living with them, I was manic and didn't know it. Now come to find out, they didn't know or understand Nathan is manic, because he hasn't spoken to them since he been kicked out that time. Nathan tells Issa that he just wanted them to see that he got his life together, and he tells her, fuck it, he can't change how people see him. And he tells Issa, not even you, referring to last week crying incident. On a side note, I think Nathan is being selfish right now. How can someone see a change when that's all they knew about you, the past you? For whatever reason, Nathan chose not to explain himself to his cousin, so you can't fault them for treading lightly with you, Nathan. And as for Issa, tell her how you really feel. She's not a mind reader. Issa tells him that last week tears has nothing to do with him. She said that she was just overwhelmed. Last year was a lot for her, and now she's always waiting for something to go wrong. Issa tells Nathan that she's afraid to admit it. She don't want to get her hopes up and look stupid, but she wants to be more than friends with Nathan. Bitch. And Nathan said, I don't want to be friends with you either. And they kiss. And now we're having the aftershock of the earthquake. And I'm like, is this supposed to be symbolic to something? Like, you know, when you in love or something, and you may see a shooting star. You think you see a shooting star in the sky, and that's symbolic. That's something symbolic, like, oh, you must be the one because blah blah blah. No, hell no. They are fucking trauma bonding, and that symbol can be y'all need to stay away from each other. I don't like it. Nathan will be the rebound person as soon as Lawrence show his duh ass up around. Issa is going to forget all about Nathan. And this is where this bullshit ends. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.